Hey there, my name is Jess. My pronouns are they, them, or he, him, and today I'm going to be showing you how to apply the urBasics tape. Let's go. Let's go with our first step. We're going to make our nipple covers. With the nipple covers, make sure that you're not putting the adhesive onto the nipple and areola, because that's not gonna feel good coming off, trust me. So what you wanna do is you're gonna cut for the shape of your own areolas, and then you're gonna cut an additional piece more or less the same size so that you can basically add on adhesive to adhesive and then use it like a pasty that way. But you wanna leave you want to have the initial piece be like a little bit smaller, like a Band-Aid, so you have the adhesive like around the areola, keeping it there. The amount of times that I had to like trial and error this because of continually accidentally sticking it to my fingers was very frustrating. But you eventually like figure it out. I make it sound like it was this long drawn out process. It maybe took like 3 minutes to figure out what the right way to handle it was. All right, I've got my nipple covers ready to go. As you can see here, I've got an amount of adhesive on each side, and that's definitely gonna be enough because this is a pretty strong adhesive. Our next step is we're gonna cut out the actual amount that we need to do the binding portion, basically making a giant Band-Aid. Now everybody's different with how their bodies are shaped, but I know that what works for me is doing, it's like 3.5, because we've got the hard blue line outlines, and that's how I base that. This is the weirdest arts and crafts project. Probably not, but you know. So after I cut my pieces for binding, before I do anything, so that I don't forget, I'm going to cut the corners to kind of round it out a bit, and that basically, it helps to limit wrinkling, and it helps to kind of give it a more natural shape. It just makes application easier. So I'm gonna cut these corners. They say don't cut corners, but sometimes it's necessary. And then about at the first blue line, I'm gonna sort of tear for my little handle tab. All right, and these are ready to be placed, and we can start the binding process. Let's go. All right, so now I'm actually gonna apply the nipple covers, and then we will begin the whole applying of the binding pieces. You kind of wanna like rub over and not exactly massage, but you wanna make sure that the adhesive is sticking, and go over it a few times. And don't worry if you have like a couple wrinkles in there, because you're not really gonna see it once you apply the binding piece. All right, now for the main event. So you're gonna wanna do it approximately, it depends on your bust size, but like anywhere between like the halfway point to like maybe like a third. I'm gonna be doing a third just because that works best for my chest shape. Now, before I actually remove the rest of the paper covering the adhesive, when you do the actual pulling to stick. You want to be super, super gentle, and you don't want to have your arm up too high because otherwise you're definitely going to have wrinkles and stuff in it when you move your arm back down. All right, so now we're going to remove the rest of the tape, or the rest of the paper covering the tape. And I know what I do is I basically leave this part with the paper on until the very last moment, just to make sure that I'm really getting it to the place that I want before I actually stick it. And as far as flatness, you basically do to your own comfort, because some people like to, or they can handle and are more comfortable with a tighter bind. Some people who are more busty maybe would want something a bit looser. I know that I go for kind of a moderate because I don't have a lot to tape down to begin with, but I know that I want to still have like a little bit of flexibility. It's just more comfortable for me that way. All right, and now for the right side. All right, and that's kind of it. I am at a good flat level that I like, where it looks like I've got a bit of that pectoral build. Yeah, very like much more masculine and androgynous than without it, which is nice. Makes me feel good.